What's up, guys? Welcome back. Good to see you again. So, what's new in my continuing journey? Well, last we talked, I had a Boss GT 1000, and I was enjoying that for a while and trying to get all my sounds set up and doing a lot of exploring. And what I found was that while it has really great cleans and really great rock sounds and even some great heavier sounds, I was finding that it was not real great for running really aggressive sounds and playing aggressively into amplifiers, whether it was my solid state Peavey or my tube Ampeg. I was finding that it was just too aggressive. I was going up and down the chain, working the EQ back and forth and working the signal path in the GT 1000, which you have a ton of control over, and I just was not really getting a result that I wanted. And I think it's great if you run this sort of thing into your computer or into a PA or something, but I was just finding that with my amps it just wasn't working as expected. So a little bit disappointed about that. I guess it's just one of those things that happens, you know. There was a lot of people online that said, oh, it's not really made for going into an amp, and then other people said that they really enjoyed plugging it straight into an amp and they were able to get good sounds. So took a chance, and that's the way it goes. So anyway, that got sent back, and then I went locally here and in Winnipeg and picked up a Revv G3. I'd done some looking on that. So the Revv pedals are made right here in Winnipeg, which is awesome. And they also make pretty cool amps that I can't afford. And from what I had seen online, it was a pretty gnarly pedal, like pretty rad, you know. Went to the store to try it out, and it also had a G3 there, which is was described as a little bit more refined sound, and I tried them both. I really liked them. I ended up taking the G3 home because that's what I had gone in for, even though I really liked them both. And I had also found that the G3 was pretty gnarly. Like, there is a lot of gain there, and even when you dial it back, there's still a lot of gain. And I think ultimately I'm looking for a slightly more refined sound, even though I'm kind of a doomstoner sludge guy. I think I really do prefer a more refined type of distortion as opposed to really fuzzy and really wild, really hairy. So took the G3 back and brought home the G3, and I've been enjoying that so far. There are some really great sounds in the G3. You can dial it up to be pretty hairy and pretty aggressive on the red channel. It's a great pedal. I'm enjoying it so far. So the other thing I did was I bought a Mesa 4x12, a used one, and my intent is to pair that with this Ampeg head that I have. Sounds monstrous, sounds really great. Then I found out that my Ampeg head is having a problem taking input. Like, it sounds fine, clean. When I start pushing distorted signal into it, it is just not happy. It is not making good sounds at all. So I kind of wonder how much the Ampeg, you know, maybe has been degrading over time and maybe coloring some of my decisions. I know that I've been A/B'ing it with my solid state head, so some of the decisions that I've made with a couple of pedals, a few pedals that I've tried out, you know, I was making sure that I was liking it with both heads, because I really want to continue to run a bi-amp setup. I was feeling like I wasn't happy with it in both heads. I was, you know, going in a different direction. So I think even with the G3, you know, I felt like it was a little too aggressive even through the solid state head. So, but I do, you know, it does make me wonder. I've been on this little journey here trying these different things and wondering now, you know, if the Ampeg has been causing me problems all this time. You know, even going back to my Digitech pedal here, you know, has it been giving me grief with that, with just not sounding the way I want it to? But what can you do? You know, that's just part of life. So in the meantime, I made an acoustic video. I can put a link up here. It's gonna be it's gonna be in one of these corners, but I'll put a link here. Dug out my acoustic, and I was kind of having fun with the weird noise that my Ampeg was making, so I made a little video. Just a little snippet of a song, so check that out. What else? In the meantime, yeah, I have a couple of different setups, Peavey setups here. I have a Peavey 412 and a Peavey 212 My Century head originally came with a 212, and when I was running the bi-amp setup with my band Downgrade, I had the 412 setup with a couple different kinds of speakers. I had stock 12s in the top two, and I had the Black Widows from my old 212 in the bottom two, and I was running my 2 amp heads to those 2 sets of speakers separately. And so what I did is I put the 412 back to stock, all stock speakers back in it, and I put the Black Widows from the 412 back in the 212 where they came from. And I've actually been having a lot of fun just playing through this old 212 rig. It really snorts. It really is a tough rig, man. It really rips. So kind of reminds me why I bought it in the first place, you know, mid to late 90s, all those years ago. I don't know, it might have even been like 1994. It's been a long time since I've had this rig. So just been having fun with that, and so what's next? I hope to record some ideas that I've had, do some different things with that. I've been kind of working on collaborating with my friend Andy Jensen from Boot Kettle Studios down in Wausau, Wisconsin, where I'm originally from. Doing some stuff there, so a little bit of back and forth with collaborating some different songs and ideas remotely, which is a lot of fun. And I think I'm going to revisit the Digitech. You know, I think I'll put this old guy back through my Peavey head with the 212 and see if I can't travel back in time to early mid 2000s and see, you know, if I can find the path again to get the sound out of this thing. So that's what's on tap for me. Anyway, it's been great to hang with you again. See you next time. Tune low, play slow.